Hey, photo. Hey, babe. But the other thing I'll do, and again, don't try and read my chicken scratch, every year I'll reset this board too. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. So it is Monday afternoon, and we're getting feeding going. So the other day, actually yesterday, was the first day we finally broke into this year's first crop hay, because we had like 95 bales left over from last year, and yesterday we finally broke into fresh hay from this year. So one thing I figured I'd show you is we did get that baler up in the barn yesterday, but we did, I think I might have mentioned we had to put planks down. The two middle sections, the ones honestly we use the most. So this section here with the corn, this section here, they have a double thick flooring system. I mean, so does this, and so does that. The difference is that the middle two sections have a 1x down first, and then it's a 2x on top. So these are a combination of 2x8s, most of them 2x8s, 2x6s. Over here, we did some repair work a couple years ago. We put in some 2x10, 2x12s to fix them up. But then there is, 1x underneath. Well, the far end sections, the north and the south, they have a dual system too, dual thick floor too, but they're 1x's on top of 1x's, whether it's 1x8s, 1x10s, there's might even be a couple 1x12s in here, but they're on top of other 1x's. The floor system on this side is a lot weaker than the center. It's just, it's crazy. Well, plus it's an old barn. I know there was a spot in the barn downstairs that when we did a renovation, we tried to save it, but it broke on us, and it was cemented in, and somebody wrote on it, etched in there, 1929. So we know this barn is at least 1929. But yep, we got the baler up here. We thought this would be a perfect spot for it. So right now, I'm gonna go have some fun cleaning up my garage. There's some Halloween decorations I gotta put away, which include some makeshift dead body bags. That was Bethany's craft project for Halloween this year. Just a little note, she's a Halloween nut. I like Halloween. Get a little bit more geeked out around Christmas, but I do like Halloween. But she loves Halloween. Oh, and in case you're wondering, these were her craft project of makeshift dead body bags for Halloween. I think they turned out okay. Like, they're literally just plastic bottles and like milk jugs and stuff like that. And then she just taped them up, kind of taped around one end for a neck kind of thing. I don't know. It did the job. From the road, you can't really tell the difference. It looks, it's a good decoration. It was fun. Hey, photo. Hey, babe. Yeah, she always comes up to the fence. Mostly for Bethany, though. But she likes her scratches. So needy. So we're getting going. It's Saturday morning. Yeah, still technically morning. But we're going to get these calves fed. And then I think for the rest of the morning, I think I'm just going to continue cleaning in the milk house. It's a job that needs to be done. Then I don't have to worry about it when calving comes, because that's when I just want stuff, and Dad and I just want stuff out of our way. Because right now it's getting pretty clustered in there. I'm, for the most part, done cleaning the milk house. Granted, it's not spotless, but the majority of the junk is cleaned up and put away. But I wanted to show you guys a couple things before I started cleaning them up, because it's technically time to wipe the boards, as you say. So one thing that we do when we do our AI, I have a couple of whiteboards that are in the milk house. And what I do is every time we AI an animal, I will put them on the board. And don't try and read my chicken scratch, because sometimes I can't either. But what I do is, our first animals are always our heifers. So these are yearling heifers down to right here. That's yearling heifer, and now these start into our cows. So like 910, that is Deja. For whatever reason, we had to AI her a third time, which really sucked. So I am crossing my fingers that she stuck to that one. I don't know what the deal was with that. But, this is kind of a real cheap, nerdy way for me to keep track of how we do our AI. This over here in the spring, I was trying to do like a manure hauling count, because we knew we had tons of them. And then I'll do like, hey, a cow missed a tag, we need to tag them. I just jot stupid stuff down on the board. But for the most part, this one here is for AI. I will mark down the animal, and I will mark down like kind of an abbreviation, like CC was cowboy cut. Here was sensation, bold ruler, mic drop. This was I thought we were going to mainline breed this one, but we ended up giving her to the bull. I think that's what I meant by that. But here was another mainline, bankroll, that kind of stuff. E was for eagle, dominion. So I'll just give a little abbreviation of the bull, and then what I will do is I will take these dates and bulls, and I'll put this into a spreadsheet, and then I will also put into the spreadsheet, give or take what the vet said about when they should calve based on our preg check, and then I'll try to start figuring out, give or take a little bit, of when they should calve. I will also have jotted down in some notes in my phone if I notice any breedings going on during the summer. The other thing I will do is I'll take pictures of this, and a lot of my stuff I will actually track in on my phone in a Keeps note type thing, the Keeps app. I use it. It's an Android, it's Google, so I live in Google kind of thing. But I will use that, and I'll have a running note for every year. So this is like my 4th or 5th year doing it. So 2020 had a year, 2021 had its own note, and then 22, 23, they all have their own separate file. And then I'll take a picture of this, and I'll actually store that in there. I'll also take a picture of things like what seed corn did we use, what soybeans did we use, and then I'll also jot down notes of, that's where I keep track of when my calves calved and all that kind of stuff. So I just use that. Yes, there are great programs out there. Like, I actually have a subscription to Cattle Max, and I've thought about trying to get back into it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to renew it or not. Only because I do so much. Everything is in the ASA already, so I don't really necessarily know. I don't have a super huge need for something like Cattle Max or one of the other ones. I try and keep it super, super basic. The rare time we do any kind of treatments to animals, I jot that in there. Especially calves. If we have to treat the calf, I'll just put in there, did a shot of this, or did a shot of that, or whatever it ends up being, I'll note that in there. The other one that we do, so here's our semen tank. We've had that for a few years. That started to come in handy. But the other thing I'll do, and again, don't try and read my chicken scratch, every year I'll reset this board too. And this is essentially a running inventory of what's in that guy. And then I'll just come along and, okay, we AI'd this guy, I'll write it on that board, and then I'll come over here and give a little check. And that's kind of how I keep track of inventory in our tank. Then the other thing, we usually put our colostrum bucket right there. We bought some pretty good colostrum a couple years ago, and it's this guy. So this is the brand that we use. We got it through our Gen X dealer, got it through Gen X. But yeah, it's this brand right here. We really like this stuff. It was some really nice quality stuff, and that bucket lasted us like, I think 3 years. I dumped out a little bit of it, but I kind of figured that after a few years, we probably need some fresh stuff. But it did last, and it did keep really well. We would, once the calving season would be over, we actually would go along and tape the edges of the bucket so that it would stay pretty sealed up. But we're gonna get a new bucket this year, get some fresh stuff. But we really definitely like that. We're either gonna get that or one of the other ones, probably most likely from Gen X, because right now I'm seeing that's probably the best price. So unless you guys have any recommendations on some other stuff, but we had some good luck with that. But yeah, I think for the most part, I'm pretty much done in here. So one other thing I wanted to show you quick is this guy. This is a little history lesson. So this guy has literally been here since probably 86. Dad, when we first got Simmentals, and Dad did a couple of AI, tried to have a little bit of AI done, and obviously ABS was our breeder, and he made this little tray. You can keep stuff in it, notes and all that kind of stuff. And I think he would put like the check to pay for the breeding and stuff, or the tech would put the bill in here or other stuff. And yeah, he just kind of made that for them, because sometimes he would have to either tie up or leave an animal in the stanchion for a little while. Dad really always said he really did not like when he had to do that, because it was really difficult, because Dad would go into work early. Just naturally he worked early, and then didn't know exactly when the tech would come, and then Grandpa would come out and let the animal out, that kind of thing, or help the tech sometimes or whatever. But yeah, Dad made this little shelf cabinet thing just for the ABS tech, and then he painted ABS on there. So we had ABS for 2 years, but then our local tech for ABS retired, and that's how we ended up with Gen X. And so, and we've been pretty happy with Gen X, but he's actually technically retired too. But when the fact that the actual home office for Gen X is literally an hour away from us, we have driven over there with our tank before and have bought semen right out of the facility there, and that was pretty cool. We didn't get a tour, but I wouldn't mind taking a tour of that place just to see everything. But just the 5 minutes we were in there to get our tank filled with what we got, that was actually the last time we bought True Justice right from the facility. And that was pretty cool, just seeing all the big vats. So just the millions of straws that are probably in there. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Next on the list is we're gonna get this guy. This is that corn oats molasses that we got from the feed mill, and we don't want to just feed this out. We're actually gonna keep this and maybe just feed this out like when cows have calves, and we'll feed it out in the spring or something like that. But that'll stay down here. But this is gonna go up in the barn. So we got everybody fed. Had to come back out after the game, which unfortunately sucked. But cows were already fed. Hay for the calves we got that done before the game. All I need to do is come out and do ground feed. Everybody's loving it. We're gonna call that the end of the day, end of the weekend. Not super eventful, but we got a little bit of stuff done. All things kind of honestly getting ready for when winter actually finally decides to come, and when it does, I'm sure it will hit us with a vengeance. So just kind of getting ready for that stuff. But hope you liked the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and thanks for coming along.